day I become someone else and embark on a ship that is doomed to sink. Will I survive? Watch to the end of the video to find out. Hello, I'm on the Metrolink in Manchester for a very unusual travellogue today. I'm not on any trip, I'm not on a cruise, but I am going to see a ship, or rather to see an exhibition about a ship. We are on our way to visit the Titanic exhibition in the centre of Manchester. So come with me on this tram journey into Manchester and to the Titanic. I'm outside the Manchester Exhibition Centre and we'll be going into the Titanic exhibition shortly. This is the third Titanic exhibition I have been to. I've been to one in Cove, I have been to one in Cherbourg, and I've got travellogues of both of those visits. If they're available online, I will put a link down in the description so you can watch those if you're interested. But I've also been to another place with a Titanic connection, and that's Halifax, Nova Scotia. And when I was there, I visited the graves of the Titanic victims, which was a very moving experience. So, what am I expecting to see here? Well, I don't know. I'm going in with an open mind. I've heard good reviews of the exhibition. I hope they're not going to sensationalise it. I hope it's going to be respectful to the people who died. I won't be able to do any sections to camera around the exhibition. I might get a bit of footage. I'm hoping to make a few photographs. So I'll have a chat with you back on camera once I come out and share with you my thoughts of the exhibition. So see you on the other side. On entering the exhibition, the first thing we see are props and memorabilia from the 1997 Titanic movie, including two of Kate Winslet's costumes and her Heart of the Ocean necklace. On entering the exhibition proper, we're each given a facsimile of a boarding card of one of Titanic's actual passengers. On the back, there is a little bit of history of the character. I am Mr. Norman Chambers, a first-class passenger from Olean in New York State. Feel free to pause the video to find out more about him. Will I survive? I won't find out until the end of the exhibition. The exhibition has a lot of information about the ship. There are large backlit displays and recreations to wander around. Each display has facts about the ship. Some of the information is quite disturbing, such as the quote from J. Bruce Ismay, director of the White Star Line, allegedly said to Thomas Andrew, the designer of the Titanic.
"Control your Irish passions, Thomas. Your uncle here tells me you proposed 64 lifeboats and he had to pull your arm to get you down to 32. Now, I will remind you, just as I reminded him, these are my ships, and according to our contract, I have the final say on design. I'll not have so many little boats, as you call them, cluttering up my decks and putting fear into my passengers."
This quote may or may not be true, and a quick internet search does cast some doubt on its accuracy. Titanic's grand staircase is shown on one of the backlit backgrounds with a carving in front of it. Nearby, a piece of wood believed to be from the handrail is displayed with incredible detail in the carving. Another backlit display shows a reproduction of the ship's wheel and the bridge. One display lists information about a few of the ship's notable passengers. My passenger, Norman Chambers, isn't listed, so I still don't know if I survive or not. One name on the display is very familiar to me: Sidney Leslie Goodwin. When I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, I visited his grave. For many years, he was just the unknown child, the body of a 19-month-old baby boy recovered from the ocean. It wasn't until 2007 that he was identified by using DNA, and his name was added to his grave. An 18-foot-long 1:48 scale model is on display at the exhibition. It was recently restored in 2024, and I was amused to see that Jack and Rose had been added to the prow of the ship. There are plenty of other artefacts from the ship to examine, including sheet music recovered from the body of the band leader, cards and a handkerchief from another passenger. As a photographer, I was interested by a glass plate negative showing one of the Titanic lifeboats being hoisted aboard the Carpathia as it came to their rescue. Through the power of digital editing, I've been able to add contrast and make it positive so you can see what the photograph really looks like. Other displays include a transcript of the radio messages, the findings and recommendations of the inquiry, and newspaper headlines about the disaster. There was also a mock-up of one of the lifeboats that visitors could sit in to have their photograph taken. This felt a little disrespectful to me, so I passed on that. The final part of the exhibition covers exploration of the wreck and includes a model of the decayed prow. As I was leaving, I searched the list of passengers to find out if my assigned passenger, Norman Chambers, had survived or not. As I did so, I found another familiar name, that of Joseph Dawson, a trimmer on the Titanic. I had visited Joseph's grave in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where he is listed as just J. Dawson. For several years, fans of the 1997 film would leave flowers and cinema tickets on his grave, thinking it was the final resting place of Leonardo DiCaprio's entirely fictional character, Jack Dawson. Searching through the names, I found my passenger, Norman Chambers. He survived. For more information on him, I headed over to the Titanic Wiki. The link is in the description. He was in Lifeboat 5, the second lifeboat to be launched, with less than 2/3 of its seats taken. He died in 1966 at the age of 81. I've just come out from the Titanic exhibition, and I have to say it was very, very well done. Well laid out, easy to follow. 3 parts to it really: the design of the Titanic, life on board, the sinking, and then a sort of postscript, I suppose part 4, about the recovery and the operations to visit the wreck. All sections were really powerful, really well curated. Nice to see some of the actual things which have come from the Titanic. Even some things which have been recovered from the seabed were in there. So certainly well worth going to see. I have to say it was very different to some of the other Titanic exhibitions I've been to. And just a reminder, if those videos are online, the link will be down in the description below. Very different in style and layout. This was a lot more factual, which I really appreciated. Fair bit of reading, which I don't mind. So the whole thing worked really well. And I'd encourage you to go and see it. Now, it's moving on here from Manchester at the end of the week, so that will have happened by the time you get to view this video. The exhibition is in Exeter from the 15th to the 31st of October 2025, Aberdeen 28th of March to the 12th of April 2026, and in London 25th of July to the 16th of August 2026. There's a link in the description below for more details, and I think that link will be updated regularly with any new locations that the exhibition is going to. What will my next travelogue be? Who knows? No word yet about going back on ships. So subscribe, like, etc. And that way you'll find out more when I'm posting things. And until next time, keep making great photos. And as ever, thanks for watching. Bye for now.